Okay guys, today we'll be going over Corel PaintShop Pro X7. This program is a lot like Photoshop CS6 in our other video. So here I have Cole McGrath from Infamous 2 again. This would be our pan tool. If I zoom in, I can just move around like this. This would be our pick tool. You can move stuff around. I also duplicated layers so you can see. This leaves you with your sizing rectangle too, so you can resize to your liking. In here you also have your move tool. It just moves it around. You can't resize or anything. Here is your rectangular selection tool. You can just select an area and move it around, do what you want with it. You also have your freehand selection tool. It's basically the lasso in Photoshop. You can make your own shape and move it around. You also have your point to point. You can just be more precise and make straight edges with it and move that around. In here you also have your magic wand. You can't really do much with this, but when you click, it'll just select a certain area, basically going by the borders it sees. This is difficult to use, usually because in images your borders aren't always defined that greatly. Same with the smart selection brush, but with this you can move around and kind of mold it to your liking, but it may go over like this if you slip, or if it just doesn't sense the border that you want. It can be frustrating, but you also have your eraser tool that if you ever need to erase the sides, you can just do that like later when you paste it somewhere else. This is your auto selection tool. This, you just draw a rectangle and it molds the closest borders to the edge of your rectangle. Next we have your pin drop tool. You can pull a color from your image and it'll show up over here on the gradient to your color scale, and you can repaint with that color if you'd like, just wherever you want to. Next is just the crop tool. This is exactly the same as it is in Photoshop. You can just crop this to your liking, just however you want. Next is your red eye tool. This does exactly what you think it would do, red eye. It would fix your red eye, but there are no red eyes in this image. And the makeover tool is literally just a blemish remover. If you just see a blemish in your skin or something, you can just dab that over and it'll take the colors around it, cover it up for you. Next is your clone brush, just as it is in Photoshop CS6. Okay, you could right click, then you could just color around with it like this. You're basically just cloning it, but you don't have to clone the whole thing all at once. It's kind of fun to work with, and it does create a background effect. Next we have our paintbrush tool, which does exactly what you think it would do. You could just paint around, do what you want. Same with the airbrush tool, but this gives it kind of a hazy effect. You can do what you'd like. Next is the color replacer. With your dropper tool, you can just pull colors randomly or however you'd like. And with this, just double tap where you'd like to exchange your color, and anywhere it sees this color, it'll exchange it for the other color you picked. The burn and dodge tool do exactly what they do in Photoshop. The burn makes it darker and the dodge makes it lighter. The eraser tool just, erases, and since this is a transparent background, it's this that's being erased or turning transparent. Next is just your color replacer and or color changer and flood fill. With color changer, it takes whatever color's on top and just puts it in where it sees fit. Where it sees the color, or wherever you tap and a color matches. Next is your flood fill. It does exactly what you think it would do. It just fills in your borders. Next is your butterflies. It's a stamp tool. This could be nice for borders or to work with to make borders or something. Just get rid of those. Next is your text box. You could just start typing and then make it bigger, mess with your fonts, make whatever font you'd like. There's like a million in here. Yeah. Next is just your shaping tools. You can add a quotation box, rectangles, circles, and just a pentagon. Next is your pen tool. This just draws straight lines for you. Pretty much, you could warped shapes. You can mess with it as you want and make shapes of your liking. Just draw freehand. You could do that too. Basically, just draws a line and then fills it in with your color here. Next is your warping brush. With this, you can just warp however you'd like. And with your mesh warp, it creates a grid that you can move around. Just warp everything around it. Do what you'd like. Okay. Next is, well, these are just basically paintbrushes with different effects on them, like the oil brush. Looks like an oil brush. And the smear just smears the color everywhere. The watercolor brush just looks like a watercolor. The chalk, yeah, they basically just add different effects to them. And over here you have your layering, your layers. You can change the type of layer here. You can move them around, merge them together. Merge down. See, now they're the same. For you to actually see that, I'll just do this. Merge down, and now they're together like this. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.